The Vedas, the ancient scriptures of Hinduism, contain references to various aspects of astronomy. Vedic astronomy was a significant field of study during the Vedic period, roughly 1500 BCE to 500 BCE. The Vedic astronomers made several key findings and observations that laid the foundation for subsequent developments in astronomy. The Vedic astronomers identified and named various celestial objects, like the sun, the moon, the planets and the stars. They recognized the movement of these objects across the sky and noted their positions relative to each other. They also mentioned specific constellations and star clusters, known as nakshatras. These nakshatras were used as markers to track the movement of the moon and other celestial bodies. They divided the ecliptic, the apparent path of the sun across the celestial sphere, into 27 or 28 equal parts, each corresponding to a specific nakshatra. These nakshatras were considered to have specific qualities and influences on human life and events. The moon was believed to move through one nakshatra in approximately 1 day, indicating the lunar day or tithi. By tracking the position of the moon in relation to the nakshatras, the Vedic astronomers could determine the phase of the moon and its position in the lunar month. The Vedic astronomers developed a sophisticated system of timekeeping that was closely tied to their astronomical observations. The Vedic astronomers divided the day into multiple periods of varying durations. One of the primary divisions was the prahara, which corresponds to approximately 3 hours. The day was typically divided into 8 praharas, creating a 24-hour cycle. They then divided the prahara into smaller units known as muhurtas. A muhurta corresponds to approximately 48 minutes. The muhurta was considered an auspicious time interval for conducting important activities. The Vedic astronomers then devised calendars based on their astronomical observations. These calendars were designed to align with the movements of the sun, moon, and other celestial bodies. They incorporated lunar months, based on the cycles of the moon, and solar months, based on the cycles of the sun. The lunar month, known as a tithi, was approximately 30 degrees of the moon's orbit. The solar month was based on the sun's movement through the zodiac. To synchronize lunar and solar calendars, the Vedic astronomers employed intercalation techniques. They introduced additional lunar months at specific intervals to align the lunar and solar years. This ensured that important festivals and religious events occurred during the appropriate seasons. But how did the Vedic astronomers make these findings in those days? They made these findings through a combination of observation, intuition, and empirical methods. They meticulously observed the movements of celestial objects over long periods of time, noting their positions and patterns. These observations were often conducted at specific locations and at specific times of the year, allowing them to discern recurring patterns. Also, they relied on their understanding of mathematics and geometry to analyze and interpret these observations. They made precise measurements and formulated mathematical models to explain the celestial phenomena they observed. These models were refined over generations, with new insights and findings building upon the work of earlier astronomers. Thus, Vedic astronomy was closely intertwined with religious and ritualistic practices. The ancient Indian society placed great significance on celestial events, as they believed that the movements of celestial bodies had a direct influence on human life. Therefore, the pursuit of astronomical knowledge was motivated not only by scientific curiosity, but also by a desire to understand and align with the cosmic order.